Welcome to this session of Energy Conservation and Management. Myself, Anirban Sarkar, Assistant Professor of Mechanical Engineering Department of JIS College of Engineering, Kollani, Nadia District in West Bengal. Once again, we are welcoming you to this session. In this session, we will discuss about waste heat recovery technologies. So first of all, this is a figure of a convective recapitator. So we have discussed about that in earlier session, that about metallic and ceramic recapitator, that is radiative, but this one is convective, and this is the second most common configuration of a recapitator, which is tube type or convective recapitator. The hot gases are carried through a number of parallel small tubes, while intercoming air to be heated enters a shell, surrounds the tubes and passes over the hot tubes one or more times in a direction normal to their axis. If the tubes are baffled to allow the gases to pass over them twice, the heat exchanger is termed as two-pass recapitator. If two baffles are used, a three-pass recapitator, etc. Although baffling increases both the cost of the exchanger and pressure drop in the combustion air path, it increases the effectiveness of heat exchangers. Shell and tube type recapitators are generally more compact and have a higher effectiveness than radiation recapitator because of large heat transfer area made possible through the use of multiple tubes and multiple passes of gas. So this is the figure of a combined radiation convection recapitator. So for the maximum effectiveness of heat transfer, combinations of radiation and convective designs are used, with the high temperature radiation recapitator being fast followed by convection type. These are more expensive than simple metallic radiation recapitator but are less bulky. A convective or radiative hydrive recapitator, these are all the figure as shown, where number of parallel tubes are there to do the convection section, and it has an radiation section also. So first of all, the cold air will come through this a part, that is cold air inlet, and while the metallic inner section, through that one the flue gas is passing. So first of all, it will take the heat from the flue gas in radiative way. In the second passes, the flue gas is diverted through the baffles and it will follow a complex path as shown in figure, and the air is passing through the some tubes. So after that the waste gas is passed through the chimney, and the processed air, which has more temperature, is ready to be processed. This is radiation convective hybrid recapitator. For maximum effectiveness of heat transfer, combination of radiation and convective designs are used. So this is a hybrid one. Next, that is ceramic recapitator. The principal limitations of heat recovery of metal recapitator is the reduced life of the liner at inlet temperature if it exceeds 1100 degrees centigrade. So we cannot use a metallic recapitator where the flue gas temperature exceeds 1100 degree centigrade. So in order to overcome the temperature limitations of metallic recapitator, ceramic tubes recapitator have been developed. Now the ceramics materials allow operating on the gas inside as high as 1550 degrees centigrade and on the preheated air side to 815 degrees centigrade on a more or less practical basis. Early ceramic recapitator were built of tile and joined with furnace cement, and thermal cycling caused cracking of joints and rapid deterioration of tube occurs. Later, through developments, introduced various kinds of short silicon carbide tubes which can be joined by flexible seals located at the air headers. Now earlier design have experienced leakage rate from 8 to 60%. The new designs are reported to last 2 years with air preheating temperature as high as 700 degrees centigrade with much lower leakage rate. So ceramic recapitator is suitable for using where it has to be handle high temperature of the flue gas, that is the range between 1550 degree centigrade, where the metallic recapitator will fail. Now come to another type of device which is called regenerator. The regenerator, which is preferable for large capacities, have been widely used in glass and steel melting furnace. Important relations exist between the size of the regenerator, time between reversals, thickness of bricks, conductivity of bricks, and heat storage ratio of the bricks. In a regenerator, as shown in figure, the time between reversal is an important aspect. Long period would mean higher thermal storage and hence costlier. Also, long periods of reversal results in lower average temperature of preheat and consequently reduce fuel economy. Accumulation of dust and slagging on the surface reduces efficiency of the heat transfer as the furnace became old. Heat loss from the walls of regenerator and air in leaks during the gas period and out leaks during the air periods also reduce the heat transfer. Heat wheels. A heat wheels is finding increasing applications in low and medium temperature waste heat recovery system. This figure is a schematic illustrating the application of a heat wheel. It is a sizable porous disc fabricated with material having a fairly high heat capacity, which rotates two side-by-side ducts. One a cold gas duct, the other a hot gas duct. The axis of duct is located parallel to and on the partition between the two ducts. As the disc slowly rotates, sensible heat is transferred to the disc by the hot air and the disc rotates from the disc to the cold air. The overall efficiency of sensible heat transfer for this kind of regenerator can be as high as 85%. Heat wheels have been built as large as 21 meters in diameter with air capacities up to 1130 meter cube per minute. A variation of heat wheel is the rotary regenerator, where the matrix is in a cylinder rotating across the waste gas and air streams. The heat or energy recovery wheel is a rotary gas heat generator which can transfer heat from exhaust to incoming gases. Its main area of application is where heat exchange between large masses of air having small temperature differences is required. Heating and ventilation system and recovery of heat from drier exhaust air are typical applications of these heat wheels. Now is a very interesting heat pipe. This figure shows a pipe which is called a heat pipe. It can transfer up to 100 times more thermal energy than copper, the best known conductor. In other words, heat pipe is a thermal energy absorbing and transferring system and have no moving parts and hence require minimum maintenance. Now, how it is works? The heat pipe comprise of three elements: a sealed container a capillary weak structure and a working fluid. The capillary weak structure is integral fabricated into the interior surface of the container tube and sealed under vacuum. Thermal energy applied to the external surface of the heat pipe is in equilibrium with its own vapor as the container tube is sealed under vacuum. Thermal energy applied to external surfaces of the heat pipe causes the working fluid near the surface to evaporate instantaneously. Vapor thus formed absorbed the latent heat of vaporization, and this part of heat pipe became an evaporator region. The vapor then travels to the other end of the pipe where the thermal energy is removed, causing the vapor to condense into liquid again, thereby giving up latent heat of condensation. This part of heat pipe work as a condenser region. The condensed liquid then flows back to the vapor region. Performance and advantages. The heat pipe exchanger is a lightweight, compact heat recovery system. It virtually does not need mechanical maintenance, as there are no moving parts to wear out. It does not need input power for its operation and is free from cooling water and lubrication system. It also lowers the fan horsepower requirement and increases the overall thermal efficiency of the system. The heat pipe heat recovery system are capable of operating at 315 degrees centigrade with 60 to 80% heat recovery capability. The typical applications. The heat pipes are used in following industrial applications. First of all, process to space heating. The heat pipe heat exchanger transfer thermal energy from process exhaust for building heating. The preheated air can be blended if required. The requirement of additional heating equipment to deliver heated makeup air is drastically reduced or eliminated. Process to process. The heat pipe heat exchanger recovers waste thermal energy from the process exhaust and transfer this energy to the incoming process air. The incoming air thus become warm and can be used for same process or other process and reduce process energy consumption. Number C, HVAC application, that is heating, ventilation, air conditioning application. Cooling, heat pipe, heat exchangers pre-cools the building make up air in summer and thus reduces the total ton of refrigeration. Apart from operational savings of the cooling system, thermal energy is supplied, recovered from cool exhaust and transferred to the hot supply make up air. Heating, the above process is reserved during winter to preheat the makeup air. The other applications in industries are preheating of boiler combustion air, recovery of waste heat from furnaces, reheating of fresh air for hot air dryers, recovery of waste heat from catalytic deodorizing equipment, reuse of furnace waste heat as heat source for other oven, cooling of closed rooms with outside air, preheating of boiler feed water with waste heat recovery from flue gases in the heat pipe economizer, drying, curing and baking ovens, waste steam reclamation, brick kilns, reverberatory furnaces, heating, ventilation and air conditioning systems. So these are the applications of the heat pipes, which is a very important parts of industrial heat recovery systems. So these are the other industrial applications of the heat pipes, as just now we have discussed, that is preheating of boiler combustion air, recovery of waste heat from furnace, reheating of fresh air for hot air dryers. These are all the industrial applications. Drying, curing and baking ovens, waste heat reclamation, reverberatory furnace, that is the secondary recovery, and heating, ventilation and air conditioning system, as we have discussed. So heat pipes, that is the most industrial applications we are using nowadays, as it is very easy to use, as it has no maintenance, at little maintenance required, and there is no moving parts, so there is no cooling or lubrication systems are required. So these are all nowadays very popular in the industrial waste heat recovery system, and these heat pipes, that is typical applications are also shown. So with this we'll like to conclude this session. So thank you for joining this session.